What if I told you? There was a man who fought over 60 life-and-death duels and never lost a single one. A man who defeated trained warriors as a teenager, fought entire schools alone, and killed his greatest enemy using a wooden sword. This is not a myth. This is not a movie. This is the true story of Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's most feared samurai, and the greatest swordsman who ever lived. In today's video, you'll discover how a wild, dirty, outcast child became an undefeated warrior, how Musashi rewrote the rules of combat, created a legendary fighting style, and turned violence into philosophy. By the end of this story, you'll understand why, even 400 years later, the world still studies his mind. This is Miyamoto Musashi. Miyamoto Musashi was born in 1584, during one of the bloodiest periods in Japanese history, the Sengoku era. War was everywhere. Samurai lived by the sword and died by it. Musashi's childhood was brutal. His mother died when he was young. His father, a skilled swordsman, was often absent and possibly abusive. By age 7, Musashi was already known as violent, reckless, and uncontrollable. No manners, no discipline, no fear. At 13 years old, while most children were still playing, Musashi accepted his first duel. His opponent was Arima Kihei, a fully trained samurai. Musashi arrived late, unwashed, carrying a wooden staff. And when the fight began, Musashi beat the man to death. Achi Trezu. That moment changed everything. After that duel, Musashi left home and became a wandering warrior. A ronin. No master, no clan, no protection. Only one goal: to become invincible. Musashi traveled across Japan, challenging dojo after dojo, defeating swordsmen far more experienced than him. But Musashi didn't fight fair. He studied psychology. He arrived late to anger opponents. He dressed poorly to appear weak. He stared without blinking. Before swords even crossed, he had already won the battle in their minds. By his 20s, Musashi had defeated dozens of warriors. But his greatest challenge was still coming. The Yoshioka School in Kyoto was the most prestigious sword school in Japan. When Musashi challenged them, they laughed at him. That was their mistake. Musashi defeated their master, then defeated his brother. Then, the school planned an ambush. Dozens of armed samurai waited to kill him. Musashi arrived early, hidden in the tall grass. He struck first, killing their leader instantly. Then, chaos. Musashi fought multiple enemies at once and escaped alive. The Yoshioka School was destroyed. From that day on, Miyamoto Musashi was feared across Japan. In 1612, Musashi faced his most legendary enemy, Sasaki Kojiro, a master swordsman, known for his deadly speed. The duel took place on a small island. Kojiro arrived early. Musashi arrived hours late. Kojiro was furious. When Musashi finally appeared, he carried no sword. Instead, he had carved a wooden sword from an oar. As Kojiro attacked, Musashi struck first, crushing Kojiro's skull with a single blow. Then Musashi left the island before Kojiro's followers could kill him. That duel sealed his legend forever. Unlike other samurai, Musashi developed a unique style. 2 swords at once, one long sword, one short sword. This became known as Nitun Ichiraya. To heavens as one, Musashi believed real combat was chaos. No rules, no honor, only survival. He trained his mind as much as his body. To Musashi, strategy was more powerful than strength. Later in life, Musashi stopped dueling. He became a philosopher. Before his death, he wrote the Book of 5 Rings, one of the greatest strategy books ever written. It teaches lessons still used today in business, sports, military, and life itself. Musashi wrote, "Do nothing that is of no use. Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye." The ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to use them. Miyamoto Musashi died in 1645, alone in a cave, Undefeated. Over 60 duels, 0 losses, no wealth, no titles, only legacy. He lived by his own rules and mastered both violence and wisdom. Miyamoto Musashi wasn't just a warrior. He was a reminder that discipline beats talent, strategy beats strength, and mindset decides victory. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more legends from around the world, because history's greatest heroes were once just ordinary people who chose an extraordinary path.